Hi everyone, thanks for coming in this afternoon. My name is Caroline and I'd like to talk to you about Siembra de la Mar, which is a cooperative farm in San Juan, Puerto Rico. And I've been collaborating this week with Angela Christensen, so thanks Angela. So I just got back from a 4-month study abroad trip to Puerto Rico where I was able to do some schoolwork and also spend time volunteering on 2 farms. And I want to show you a picture of something that I took in San Juan. So you might see this building and think of it as a little bit scary or maybe as a sign of a dangerous place. But the street artist who took over the space saw it as a blank canvas. And so I want to start looking at some of the vacant and underutilized properties in San Juan as blank canvases to help solve a problem that San Juan faces. My main goal with Siembra de la Mar is to get fresh vegetables on the tables of residents of San Juan. Secondarily, we hope to help urban dwellers get started with their farming projects that they've been wanting to do. San Juan is a densely populated city. The small houses and apartments don't have backyards, so this model helps people who haven't been able to get started finally get their urban farming off the ground. So let's back up and talk about the reality of Puerto Rico's food situation. A large part of Puerto Rico's food is imported processed foods from the United States. They can import produce as well, but it's usually not very fresh and it's highly expensive. A gallon of milk costs $6, 1 pound of strawberries is $8, and romaine lettuce is about $4 per pound. 6% is the amount of food that Puerto Rico grows for itself. And the island is also facing a childhood obesity epidemic, with the obesity statistics surpassing that of the continental US. So the food situation is a financial and health problem for the island. So what is the current farming situation in Puerto Rico? The first CSA on the island was formed in 2008. And there's a tight-knit community of up-and-coming urban farms. The community hosts markets, workshops, and educational events. And many of the leaders of this movement are college-educated in the United States. One woman named Tara Rodriguez formed an organization called El Departamento de la Comida. And what they do is distribute food from the rural farms to the city so that people in the city can purchase it at farmers markets or the grocery store. This is a photograph of the natural farming market, which is recently starting up again, an old tradition of the farmers market that used to take place in San Juan. So it's been growing since its beginning, and 2011 was a very successful year. And here's one of the farms that provides produce for this market. The opportunity that we see here is sometimes in the United States, either farming in the city for charity, giving away all the harvest and relying on donations and volunteer labor, or allowing organic food to be distributed only to the wealthy who choose to pay to be a picky eater. So the urban community-supported agriculture is a hybrid option. As an organized group, we have the power to buy seeds in bulk and persuade landowners to let us borrow their space. It allows interested people to join the co-op for a small fee. This gives them access to a weekly harvest basket, tools, and of course the garden space that they don't have because they live in apartment complexes or densely populated areas with no yards. So let's get into some of the details. First of all, why San Juan? If you've ever considered Puerto Rico at all, you probably consider it as a vacation spot or a welfare sink. But as a matter of fact, it's a great place to grow food. They have a year-round growing season, plenty of rain and sunshine. Secondly, they have a greater need than some of the other cities in the United States where urban farming is more common. Third, it's an issue of sovereignty. If Puerto Rico ever decides they want to be independent from the United States, they're going to face a huge transition, bringing some of their food production back home to their own island. And fourth, Puerto Rico is ready. Because of the movement of the agriculture agricultural community that has already started, and because of some of the wealth that the island has, there's already sufficient social capital to get this off the ground. So here's a map of Santurce, which is one of the neighborhoods of San Juan, Puerto Rico. And this area, this is about 3 miles, this is about 1.5 miles. And here are 4 grocery stores that all sell fresh produce that's usually imported. I put a spot here that could be, it's in a residential area, that could be the farm location, and about a 3/4 mile radius around it to show you how far away you could live and still walk to the farm. So we think that we can improve upon the prices of the grocery stores because their produce is imported from thousands of miles away. And we also think that we can improve upon the current situation of organic food because that food also has to be transported into the city from the rural area. So the 3 things that we rely on are volunteers, membership fees, and donated land. And in return for the membership, we offer a weekly food basket. And we also reserve 50% of our harvest to sell at a farm stand located on the farm in the neighborhood so that people who live there can purchase it easily. Third of all, in order to expand, we offer a 1-for-1 in terms of membership. If one interested person joins and pays the fee, there is a free membership reserved on the side for someone who might want to join but doesn't have the financial capital to be able to pay. So I started working on this project very recently, and moving along into the future, our goals are to talk to churches in Santurce. We've identified 2, so that they can help us contact the people who are most interested in helping to assess their interest in the type of product that we'll be offering. After we have a knowledge of the demand, we're hoping to network with some of the organizations that have been moving toward sustainable agriculture, and since I've done a work exchange program, I already know some of those people. And finally, we'll start to propose to landowners to see if we can borrow their property for our project, and in the future expand to have multiple locations so that everybody has access to community space nearby their home. Thanks so much. Does anybody have questions?